Hey everybody, hey! Hello everybody. This robe's actually really fitting for what I'm about to talk about. I thought I would start a new video. It's currently Monday night, just a read with me for the week, trying to up my amount of pages per day vibes. I've actually been doing really well this month. I've already read 6 books, which is very quick for me to be honest. It is the 20th of July and I've already read 6 books. Great for me. I don't know what was in the water. I was reading those first few books really quick, so that's great, but I haven't been having a great time with finding books I really enjoy. All the books I've been reading recently, bar a couple, have been the most average books I'll ever read, honestly. To the point I'm just what is even the point? Now don't get me wrong, I've had a 1 5-star this month, which is kind of wild because I don't think I'm getting harsher with my book ratings or anything, but last year, every month I was having 2 to 3 5-stars, probably 2 at least. I've had 1 5-star this month, which was a Freddie McFadden book, which I was surprised about. Then last month I only had 1. I'm having 1 usually a month, maybe 2 if I'm lucky. I have had 1 6-star read, but my aim for this video is to hopefully find another 5-star read. 6-star would be great, but I was in a phase where I thought I was getting in a reading slump a little bit, so that is why this month I didn't do a TBR, because I'm if I pick a TBR I'm gonna be too strict to it and I just need a mood read for the month. And honestly, I'm feeling the same vibe for next month potentially, but we'll see how the rest of the month goes. Yeah, my main goal for this week is to bring you along for how much I read daily, talk you through what I'm reading, but also to hopefully see the progression and more pages per day, because I'm not really a busy person, so this should be relatively easy. I'll give you some reading updates. Last month I was in the biggest dystopian YA novel mood. That's all I wanted to read. That's all I was reading really. If you watched my previous wrap up, a lot of the books were dystopian and fantasy, stuff like that. This year I've been in such a low fantasy mood. I think it's because I finished Throne of Glass after I'd already finished ACOTAR and the Empyrean series, so it's a lot of classic fantasies thrown into one, and I'm just not in the mood at the moment to read fantasy. Don't know why, but I'm not. So I was reading a lot of dystopian, and then this month I was I want to read dystopian again, but I don't want to continue reading dystopian and then get stuck in the dystopian phase. I do have a lot of dystopian books still on my trolley, but anyway. So you know what I did instead? I'm now on the thriller bandwagon, so that's great. But I have read 2 thriller books recently. One was called, what was it called? Leave the Girls Behind, which I rated a 3-star. Wouldn't recommend it, to be honest. And then I just finished today They Never Learn by Lane Fargo, which I rated a 3.25. The thrillers just aren't thrillering for me. They're just not hitting the same, unfortunately, and I don't know why, if it's just the ones I'm picking aren't exactly popular. But I don't want to only read popular thriller books, because I just don't want to only read popular books in general, because what's the fun in that? But tomorrow and when I get in bed, I'm going to be starting 2 books I'm going to be reading at the same time, I believe. One is Book Club Pick, which I picked. It was definitely influenced by Bodhi because he wanted to read this book, and I was just whatever, we'll read it for book club. Lacey and Bodhi have both read it. I haven't yet, but by the sounds of it, what I've seen them reading it and all that, I don't think either of them liked it that much, so I am nervous. It's not the highest of ratings, but it equally is a popular author. It's The Sirens by Amelia Hart. From what I've heard, Wayward is her more popular book. But I was just intrigued by the Sirens, obviously, because it sounds so whimsical and stuff, but I'm scared I'm not gonna really enjoy it. But I'll be starting that tomorrow. Tonight I'm starting a bit of a different book. It's called If Honor Winters Night a Traveller by Vintage Calvino. I stumbled across this at a Savers, I believe it was, and I was like, that sounds like, it just sounded like different and like interesting, and I was like, I want to read that. So it says, you go into a bookshop and buy If on a Winter's Night a Traveller by Calvino. You like it, but there is a printer's error in your copy. You take it back to the shop and you get a replacement. The replacement seems to be a totally different story. You try to track down the original book you were reading but end up with a different narrative again. This remarkable novel leads you through many different books, including a detective adventure, a romance, a satire, an erotic story, a diary, and a quest. But the hero of them all is you, the reader. Just doesn't sound like anything I've ever read before, and I'm very intrigued. And I was intending on starting The Sirens, just immediately just reading it, but I feel like if I only focus on that right now when I'm wanting to read this, I'm not going to enjoy it from off like the bat. So I'm like, oh, I should just read this. And this is a very short book, so hopefully, fingers crossed, this video is to plan, I could finish this book in like a day or two. It is only 259 pages, so that is my book update, and I'm just gonna bring you along for the week and see how we get along. I'm gonna aim at the beginning to read 100 pages a day, which I have been aiming for recently anyway, like to read 100 pages a day, because I feel, especially when you begin a book, I feel like you need to start off with a bang, otherwise you're gonna read it slow. And I've come to that conclusion because that's been me.
It's $2,000. Look at the view from this apartment.
First update. So yesterday I ended up reading roughly, I want to say 60-ish pages. It's not the greatest, but something. I started my day off by reading If on a Winter's Night a Traveller. I'm not gonna lie, I really don't even want to read this. I'm just like, oh, I don't know, there's just something off about it. I'm just like low-key confused and not interested. But I've heard like the first couple chapters are kind of like that, so I'm going to stick with it. But then I started The Sirens by Amelia Hart. This is my book club pick for July. And Bodhi and Lacey have read it. I'm not entirely sure if they liked it, based on something, like we haven't talked about it obviously, but based on Bodhi's reaction specifically, I'm pretty sure he didn't like it. And the reviews, it doesn't have, I think it's like a 3 something average, which is obviously not bad at all, but the reviews, a lot of people just saying they weren't that into it. But at the moment, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I'm quite enjoying it. I don't know if it's just because, I don't know, I genuinely have no reason as to why I'm enjoying it, but I am. I'm just loving the mystery aspect of it. But yeah, it's eerie, it's weird, it's like a mystery. Like, I'm not sure what's going on really. It is slightly confusing at points because there's just a lot of different perspectives, a lot of different people. But I started this today on page 45, I want to say. Yeah, I started this morning or today on page 46, and I read to page 172. So well and truly over 100 pages, which I'm very pleased with myself. So now I'm on page 172, and it's a 361 page book, so hopefully get it done next 2 days. Generally I'll take probably around 4 days to finish a book. I would ideally like it to be 3 max, but sometimes that doesn't go to plan, especially if I don't read 100 pages a day. If I read 100 pages a day, I can usually finish it in 2 to 3 days, but it's just not been my mind lately. But really enjoying this so far. I'll update you when I read again tomorrow, because I don't think I'll be reading any more today, but it's just my little update for you. Okay, I'm a bit of an update for you because I lied yesterday. I ended up reading more of the Sirens once I got to Bodhi's house last night. So I actually ended up on page 208. So now I'm on page 209, starting today. And I'm planning on finishing it today, which wasn't expected. I thought it'd take me at least 4 days. Like, I thought I'd finish it tomorrow, which it still might, but I'm going to try and finish it today. I'm quite enjoying it myself, I can't lie. So honestly, it's only seeing me enjoying it more from here on out, because I'm assuming a lot of the mysteries will come to light, like what's actually been happening. But yeah, it's my update. I'm really intrigued. So today I'm starting on page 209, chapter 26, and see where we end up.
Working so hard lately. I get my study and work. It's my field of town. Through the big debate, discussion.
Let's give you a little bit of a reading update. So last night I ended up finishing The Sirens by Amelia Hart. I rated it a 3.25. Now, I definitely think I enjoyed this a lot more than Bodhi and Lacey did. I'm not entirely sure why, but I have some qualms with it. But overall, it's a decently good book. It's basically about a girl who's got like flaky skin, and no one really knows what it is, but like when she gets like wet and stuff, it gets all flaky, kind of like scaly. That's what it is. And you soon discover like she's a siren, like a mermaid, but it's got a lot of different mystery aspects because it goes back and forth between like the 1900s and the now, and the girl goes missing and her sister's like trying to uncover where she is, and she's then in turn finding out a lot about her own life and her sister's life. And honestly, too much going on. There's way too much going on in this book, because there's way too much going on because you don't delve deeply into all the aspects, which really let this storyline down. And honestly, it was a very minuscule amount about the actual sirens. Like, it didn't go into depth about the sirens, and it wasn't really a whole plot line about the sirens, which is disappointing. I wish it was more about the sirens, but it was okay. But there wasn't enough detail about each individual thing in the book, which I feel like is what let it down, unfortunately. But I still enjoyed reading it and I wanted to pick it up, so I rated it a 3.25. And then this morning you would have seen me reading this book, and I started Lies by Michael Grant, which is book 3 in the Gone series. I actually read a fair bit. I'm on page 53 now. I mainly wanted to read this because I wanted to read like one of each book a month, because I read Gone at the very beginning of the year, and then I had a bit of a break, and then I read Hunger, which I think I need to start reading them one book every month to eventually finish the series. But so far I've had 2 5 stars in this series, so 2 for 2 that I've read, so hopefully this is just as good, if not better. But I'm not entirely sure what this one follows, because the first one's obviously setting up the series, and then Hunger was about them starving. In this they've already eaten children. They've run out of food and they're already eating each other, so it jumps straight into that one, doesn't it? But I'm gonna read this. I'm also still reading the other one, the travel one. I can't really, but it's low-key really confusing. Now, the reviews I've read on that did say it was confusing, so I'm not like too worried about that, but still need to read that. And I think Call Me Wild, but I also want to, alongside this, reread a book. So maybe I can pick a book that I'm going to reread with you later because I just really, I don't know, like that'll be 3 books I'm reading, but low-key, like, will I really read that other one that deeply? Probably not. But I don't know, I really want to reread books recently, but I haven't been doing that because I have so many books on my TBR cart, but then it's just making me want to reread books more. I'm thinking Harry Potter. I really freaking really want to reread Harry Potter. I can't explain the urge, I just really want to. My Dark Vanessa, which is quite a messed up book, but I read it really early on when I was reading and I loved it then. But I want to reread that potentially, or a thriller. I'm trying to like not read too many thrillers because then I'm just gonna, when I read thrillers I'm gonna get burnt out, but it's just all that's sounding interesting to me. But nonetheless, reading Lies at the moment, and I'll update you when I read a bit more, probably later. Okay, so update for you all. Yesterday I didn't read as much as I was hoping, but still read enough. I read to chapter 8 in Lies, so I read 73 pages. Not the worst, not the best. I would have ideally liked to get to, I would have ideally liked to have gone to page 100, but today's a new day and I feel like I'm going to start a reread today, so I need to pick some options for a possible reread and I can show you what my options are, and then I can start reading that alongside Lies. I really want to read Lies, but I'm just really in the mood to reread something, so I'm gonna pick my options and then I'll show you what I have to choose from. I have picked some options. I have 4 options here. I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to pick, but nonetheless, we have House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland, one of my all-time favorite books. The reason I want to reread this is because, like, I just keep thinking about it lately and just like saying it's like my favorite book, so I kind of want to reread it, but I'm also like, I kind of want to save it to like October, because in October I want to read like all spooky kind of eerie books, so I'm not sure about that. Next one is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Now, I've read this years ago, before it was like really that popular, and recently it's been popping off a lot more and I don't really remember loving it, so I'm like, oh, maybe I could reread and see if I really like it more. It's about this lady that's transported to a library on the last day of Earth. There she is given the chance to undo her regrets and try out each of the other lives she might have lived. I can't remember what I rated this. It's been popping off more recently, so I'm like, maybe I should give it another go. Then we have Yellow Face by Rebecca F. Kwan, I don't know. Which I really enjoyed this book when I read it. I think I rated it a 4.5. I don't know, something's just intriguing me and drawing me into it a bit more. This one I think is what I'm going to pick. But the next option I have is My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. I love this book when I read it. I'm pretty sure I rated it a 5. But it's basically about a student-teacher relationship. I don't know, I can't remember if she's in high school or college. But nonetheless, it's about that. And I really enjoyed it. And I'm kind of drawn to this one. But this one's longer. I think what I'm going to pick My Dark Vanessa. What I'm also going to do is write a list of books I want to reread. But I think I'm going to read My Dark Vanessa because I'm just like really in the mood to reread it again. And it was also one of the first books like I really enjoyed. So years ago, so I'm gonna read this and let you know how it goes, but I feel like today's gonna be a good bed rot read day, maybe, I don't know, but sounds good to me. So I'll update you and bring you along when I'm reading for the first session of the day.
would talk about this that so soon.
What? Talk about what?
It's like families looking from the outside
Oh,
in.
yeah. That's what the next one's about.
What?
The dome goes dark and they can't see inside anymore. They can't hear them though, can they?
They can't see them. Like, the kids have gone to the ends where they are and couldn't see them.
Oh,
So
really? I don't remember.
I didn't think they'd talk about that like so quickly. It's only book 3. Hi guys. Hi. It's days and days later than I intended to film this, but I'm coming to you with the final reading update for the week, the reading week I just had. I ghosted you because I got sick, and then I just, 1, I didn't want to read anymore, and 2, I couldn't think of anything worse than talking. So, sorry, I did ghost you. Thought I could give you the final reading update. Now, I believe the last time I spoke to you, I said I might have been starting a reread. I started rereading My Dark Vanessa. It's a 5-star read for me. I really enjoyed it and I wanted to reread it. When I started it, the day I started it, I read 40 something pages. I haven't read it since. I'm very unsure if I'm going to continue it again. I'm just not sure. I'm not entirely sure if I want to or not. Other than that, I have still been reading Lies by Michael Grant, book 3 in the Gone series. Not sure where I left off with you guys, but now I'm on page 305. I'm taking my time with reading this because I've already read the amount of books this month that I wanted to, so like I'm just like reading it slower. But this book is very, very good so far. It's definitely still a 5-star read for me compared to the other 2 as well. Like, it's really good. This one's got it's quite interesting because there's a lot more powers in this one. Like, obviously every book introduces so many more characters because it's a town filled with like 300 plus kids. So obviously every book you're gonna find out new characters, and with that comes new powers. Like, so for example, one of the girls in this book is a siren, which I found really actually kind of strange that they had a siren as the power. I don't know. That's like the main power. I was like, wow, okay, that's cool. Can't think of, my brain's not working right now, but I can't think of the top of my head any others, but yeah, definitely some interesting powers in this, so I'm really hooked, and I'll definitely finish it in the next day or 2. But that is the end of my video. But thank you so much for watching my video. I think the next book video I'll do will be my wrap up. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.